Hey Wolfpack, and that is really what it looks like outside, except add another foot of snow and it's blowing. And if you look behind me, you can see the snow blowing out there. I left the door open in case the UPS guy comes. I don't know how he's gonna get in here. So welcome. I almost didn't show up today because the roads are insanely snowy and icy, but I'm only a mile from my house, right? So I drove very slowly. And now I'm here, and I'm so excited. I can't miss our week together. So welcome, say hi. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late because I just had to kind of shovel to get myself in here. So I just have to ask some of you. I know Illinois got belted, parts of Indiana. I think it's coming to Ohio. How are you all? Hopefully you are safe. I see Karina. By the way, Karina, I know you're coming on the show tomorrow for Fashion Sewing Club. But I have to share with the entire Wolfpack. I got a package yesterday and I was blown away, not only because Karina's awesome, but Fashion Sewing Club watched her sew these leather bags and she's not been sewing that long. So Karina, let me just tell you, I almost called you back after I did a video chat with you yesterday because we did a virtual opening. We're gonna do another one tomorrow for the Fashion Sewing Club. But Win walked in. Number one, he loved his gift. Did he take it? I told him to leave it so we could show you. He probably is using it while he's snow blowing the driveway. But Karina sent 2 bags, and you have to see these because Win looked at them, and this was his face, Karina. And I was like, oh, is that good or bad? He goes, oh my gosh, those are the most beautiful bags I've ever seen. I said, Karina made them. He's like, what? So hold on, you got to see these to start. And then I'm going to start sewing my Shirley. So that's today's show. All right. So I know many of you are in the Fashion Sewing Club and some of you are not. But Karina generously made this bag and we gave it away to a Fashion Sewing Club member. Michelle Frankel won this. Look at this bag. I mean, this is in person. She even threw in an extra, proud member of the Wolfpack here. But the detail, okay, now we've seen pictures of Karina's bags, but Karina, I just have to give you a shout out here because the quality is amazing. It's amazing. Win asked me to buy this back from Michelle. I said she didn't buy it. She won it. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's just say you put Fendi to shame. I'll go with that. So the quality, the detail is unbelievable. So everyone give a shout out to Karina. And by the way, there's one more. You all have heard me say that I have been looking for a laptop bag. Now, I didn't even give her my computer size, by the way. So you must just have a good premonition. But she made me a computer bag. We did this live in the Fashion Sewing Club. You can go back and watch that replay too. So if you're not a member and you want to watch her sew this entire bag, there it is. This is absolutely gorgeous. The blue matches the color of our boat, and it's one of my favorite blues. Unbelievable. Look at the quality. All right, and then on the inside, oh, he did. He left it because I said I wanted to show everybody this cool thing that Karina made that goes over your face. And he actually should be using this right now. But the fabric is amazing. So Karina, she's coming on tomorrow in the Fashion Sewing Club to tell us more details about this. But not only that, a beautiful wallet. Now, I'm a stickler for quality. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I don't think I'm ever going to buy a purse or a wallet again. I'm going to have to order them from Karina. All right, inside here, she's got the a zippered pouch. She has 2 pockets, which you must know how big my phone is because there's room for my phone, my lip gloss, everything. And then these 2 outside sections are pockets as well. And this is the only Karina bag ever. That's what she said so far. So far. Karina, we got to find some cheaper shipping so the Wolfpack can order purses from you. Well, just pay the shipping, I guess. Because I'm telling you, the quality is unbelievable. So Karina, thank you. You are the best. Win thinks you're the best. And he was blown away by the quality. So I thought, yes, she did make the wallet. Yes, everyone, in case you're wondering, yes, meticulously made, beautiful. So now I'm going to go sew the Shirley with you. I'm switching gears, but I have to just show you this photo because The power was flickering a little bit before the show, and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it here. And in case I wanted a photo, here you go. This is what it looks like out of my backyard right now. That's where we feed our little birds. At least a foot. I don't know. It's beautiful as long as you don't have to go anywhere. I agree. Karina needs to move to the States. So what we have to do, Karina, is if anybody orders bags from you, maybe you just ship them bulk here and then I can ship them out for you. But everyone says, yes, yes, love, love. Well, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And if you've never heard Karina's story, she hasn't been sewing that long. I'm telling you, you would never know by that. So I know some people say, well, I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie at sewing. Well, never worry that you're not advanced enough because you always pick up new tips. And never worry that you're a beginner because you know what? That bag rocks. All right, so a couple pieces of news for you, and then we'll start. I have my Shirley over here for you. I've already cut it out. If you missed last week, we talked about fabric, full bust adjustment. I'm making this out of a sweater knit. Mary Stevens sent me a beautiful photo. She got her green teal sweater knit. It looks beautiful on you. Make sure eyes pop, by the way. So we're going to be doing that, but a few things. I've been waiting for this before I sent the newsletter out, and I just got them yesterday. I have 4 packs before we do the pre-order for these beautiful cutting strips. They're Angela Wolf branded with Martelli. I'll be using those today. I'm going to be giving away an entire package to one lucky person, actually 2 lucky people. One lucky person for the giveaway, which will open tomorrow. You just have to stay tuned, and that will go out in the newsletter. I just had to wait for this to show up, because you can pre-order. So one person's going to win one of these full sets. You'll see there are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me make sure I got this right. I think there's 4 in here. Hold on, let me check what sizes. I think there's 4. I'm calling it my knit top overhaul. All the cuts that I use for a knit top. So we have 1.5 inch. We have, oh, actually, there's way more than 4 in here. We've got 2 inch, which is usually what I use for most of my knit tops. We have 2.5 inch, because that's also depending if you're using thicker fabric, which we'll be using today. And then I have 3 inch and 3.5 inch, which both of these I use for different twisted collars. So I'm going to show you how to use these, but somebody's going to win that. So by the way, if you're leaving a comment today, I'll be doing a giveaway for the Shirley pattern, okay? But the official entry for this will open up tomorrow. You won't miss it. I'll post it on social, and I will send out the email for it. And I will also put a link if you'd like to pre-order yours, because these are going to be fantastic. And by the way, if you pre-order and you win, you just get a refund. How's that? All right, so make sure if you're making comments today, I'm gathering your comments. Somebody's going to win the Shirley pattern, or if you already have the Shirley pattern, you can exchange it for a different one. How's that? Oh, thanks, Shirley. Thanks. So let me go over. Let's start working on the Shirley, and I want to share a few details with you. We're going to press up our hems. There's more prep to the Shirley than there is sewing. All right, you have to get the prep work done. That's the big deal. So let's go over there. And I'll make sure I'm starting to collect your comments now, and they will gather throughout the entire show. And at the end, I'll do a drawing for the Shirley. Hey, Bonnie, great to see you. Actually, you know what? I think with the Shirley, we should probably give away a pair of Angela Wolf snips. So at the end of the show, I will draw. You have to be live. You'll get an Angela Wolf snips, which you know I have these from my favorite guys over at Thread Cutters, and also the Shirley pattern. So let's go over there, and I'll show you how to mark your pattern, and let's prep the collar and a few other things. Be sure to ask your questions, because I'll come back and check those. Okay. Oh, I just got this. I just washed this again because I wasn't sure if I dried it. By the way, some of you had asked about this fabric. I'm going to be sewing this, but I'm going to add some embroidery to it. That will be in the next couple of weeks. I'm also having the embroidery class, which will be an online class, how to embroider on knits, because we didn't do that in California. All the classes in California will soon be up for virtual classes for you. So anyways, this is the Merlot, and this is on the app, by the way, and the website. This is rayon knit. I love this color. All right, so let's get to our Shirley. So a couple things here. I've already cut my back. You can see I've cut it on the fold. If your fabric looks the same on both sides, which this is that teal sweater knit, and just look at how stretchy it is. So I'm going to give you some tips for sewing this, because this can become a little bit of a challenge, but not if you follow what I show you, okay? This one has that kind of a chevron print on one side, and then the other side is basically the wrong side, but they both look fine if I wanted to use them. But I'm going to have the chevron on the outside. So here's my back. I already went through and put my notches, which you can see right here on the side. I made them a little bigger so you can see them. All right, here is my left front. Now, something that you need to know about this pattern, and for those of you that did not follow last week and you're like, where the heck, what are we doing? We're doing this top right here with sleeves out of a sweater knit, okay? And if you make a comment today and say why you would like this pattern, or if you've already sewn it, how much you love it, you will win the Shirley, or you can exchange it for a different pattern. All right, so this is the left side. And in this pattern, we have a left and a right, don't forget. And you have to cut these with the right side of the fabric facing up, or you're going to have an uh-oh and you have to buy more fabric. So this side here, and I have a top here to compare it to. Here we go. I'll make this just a little bit brighter for you. I don't know why this camera likes to do that on you. Here you go. Okay, so here is a Shirley that I made quite a while ago. As you all know, I never get rid of any of my tops. And some of the things I want to point out is that there's gathering on the right. So there's gathering over here, but on the left side, there's not. So on the pattern piece, this is the left side, and you need to make sure that you add these notches to your pattern. Why? Because if you look over here, once this gets sewn together, these areas have to match up. And if your notches don't match up, it's not going to work for you. So you have to put all these notches, just little snips. I just snip little pieces inside. Okay? So this is the left side. Now this is also the side that I mentioned when you try on your top. And you can do this after you baste the top together if you want to. But this is the area up here that if you want this to be a little lower, this is the section that will go. Let's see, did I do this one? Oh, I did this one backwards. So that's not going to help you. But either way, let's see. This piece here represents this piece underneath. All right. So by the way, if you did cut your front pieces, which is probably what I did here, this is actually when I was testing the pattern, so who knows. But if you do cut these and you accidentally had your wrong side facing up on both sides, that's fine. Just make sure you can just switch the sides of the front. Make sense? Just flip these over. And then your gathers would be on this side, like I have here. There, problem solved, right? Okay, so a couple more things I want to point out here. On this top, I put a little hook and eye because it was a little bit low and it kept popping open. You can see the ribbing. There's gathering. So what do you have to do for prep? Well, mark all your notches. If you want this under section to be a little bit lower right here, then go to your pattern. And I'll cut mine just a little bit lower so you can see what it looks like. All right. I'm just going to cut it just a little bit lower. There. Now, this maybe you go under the bust instead of right across. Make sense? Now, don't cut over here too much because what will happen is you'll have a very big gap and you might need to wear a tank top. Okay, so that's my left front. And now here's my other front. This fabric is very dark in the camera, but I think with the contrasting white, it's just a little bit much. Now take a look at this pattern here. Let's see if I go this way. Is that better? You see this section right here where it says gather fabric. So this is the side piece, you need to mark these notches. And why does the sides come out like this? Well, let me just show you something. If you look closely on this top here, this section on the side is sewn in. So I actually hemmed this first and then it went into that area. And I did the same thing with this side here. You'll see it a little bit better when we go to the ironing board. So this is my left side. You can see this is my center front. I always put a little snip here because we're going to be folding this back. That's going to be where you stitch. And then here you have your section to go into your seam. Now this part here, we're going to have to do a basting stitch because this will be gathered. But first you have to hem that front piece. So I have my front and my back. I'm going to mark the center fronts, and we need to attach the top at the shoulders. I always do that, even if you're just basting it first, just to keep things together. Why? Because then you know everything is going to line up right. It always gets a little tricky when you have a different front and a different back. So here's my front pieces. Let me bring my shoulders. I'll just use pins right now to hold these together. There, a little bit better. Now, this sweater knit is pretty stretchy. So when I serge this, I have to be very careful. So sometimes I will put clear elastic in the shoulders to prevent it from stretching too much. With this one, that's probably what I'll end up doing. But for now, I'm just basting these together because I need to get my neckline measurement because I changed my neckline, right? If I cut that lower, that means that the pattern piece here for the right and the left, one of them is going to be a little bit longer. Also, this pattern piece is 2 inches. So let me get this out of the way for a second. I think this is 2 inches wide. Yeah. I want to cut a neckline 2.5 inches wide. And the reason being is because this sweater knit is a little thicker. And I want to make sure I have plenty of fabric to wrap around. And I'm going to use the neckline almost as a focal point. So you can see the binding here. This is 2 inches wide. I'm going to do it a little bit different with the sweater knit. So you'll just have to stay tuned to watch if you'd like to see. All right, so we need to cut that. How long do we need? Well, I'm just going to tell you I have enough fabric to cut from selvage to selvage. So let me just fold my fabric in half. Let's see. Be very careful if you're using this fabric because what can happen is it does have it'll snag easy. Now, if it snags, just pull your snag to the back side, by the way. It depends what jewelry you're wearing. That's usually how I keep snagging it. All right. So here, my new mat. This has a rubber on the back. If you've never used these, it doesn't have to be my brand. Maybe you're using Martelli. Martelli's who I've hired to do this with. It lays on the fabric. Now, I have 2 layers here. And this holds it together. I think this is just going to be fantastic. Now, let's see if this is all straight. Now, you can use their rotary cutter, which, by the way, if somebody was asking about this is a whole different way of holding your rotary cutter. And actually, Valerie has a great video on the Martelli website for this. So instead of having a weird angle like we do when we're using just a regular rotary cutter, where you have your finger here, your hand is here and your finger is here. This is a plastic covering. It takes a little bit to get used to because I'm always like, wait a minute, I never have my finger over the rotary blade, but that's plastic. So your hand is here and you fold it like this. Now, by the way, I do have a generous coupon code for you for Martelli's website. Now, these mats are only going to be on my site. These here with the Angela logo. But if you want their other equipment like the cutting mat, stuff like that, I do have a coupon code for you. So it'll be in the newsletter tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to use this, and I'm placing this on the fabric. I know it's hard to see black and green, but keep an eye. And I've gone through 2 layers of sweater knit here. And then because I know I want a longer piece, I just pick this up, slide this down. All right, now I just got to the end of my mat, so I'm just going to cut so I don't go off the mat. That's fast and easy for my 2.5 inch. Now, by the way, can you imagine when we're sewing silk or, you know, when we did the bias strips for the Chloe trench? Oh my gosh, this would have been so much faster. That's why I included the 1.5 inch. All right, here we go. Line this up. I'm cutting 2 strips from selvage to selvage. Why? Because I have the extra fabric. I can go back and measure the neckline. If you're out of fabric, go back and measure the neckline. But if not, just cut 2 strips, 2.5 inches wide. Why 2? Because I'll be sewing this with right sides together. I'm going to get rid of my selvage here because we don't need that. It's a little thick. All right. So 2 strips, pin them together. This is going to be the center back of my neckline. All right. Now we have our top with our shoulders sewn or pinned. Let's go to the sewing machine. But on the way, I'll make sure, see if you have any questions. All right. I know the dark green is hard to see with the black, but do you have any questions for me? On the way to the sewing machine. Oh, thanks, Lois. You know, it's funny. When I thought of doing this, once I tested these strips, they're awesome. I was like, wait a minute. I'm always trying to figure out getting my quilter's ruler out to get the 2 inch, the 2.5 inch. Now, I'm still going to be using my quilter's ruler. But when I need these strips, this is going to be fast and easy to do. And you get an Angela Wolf logo on there. What the heck? Maybe someday it'll be worth a cup of coffee if you sell it, right? All right. Hey, Arnell, I emailed the woman about that coupon code, and I have not heard back. So she said it was working, but she hasn't emailed back. I'm a little bit frustrated about that at this point, but I will, hopefully I'm going to send her one more email before I send your newsletter out tomorrow and let you know. But in the meantime, I have no idea why that happened. She gives me a coupon code, sends me rulers to give away. It should be working. So I'll send her one more email. Oh, thanks, Betty. You are too, Karina. Oh, nice to see you, Millie. All right, you can see the snow blowing behind me. If it starts getting really bad, I have to leave because when the wind picks up and all this snow starts flying, even if I only live a mile from home, I got to get out of here. Oh, Darlene, you don't have the Shirley yet? Well, maybe you'll win. If you're leaving comments today, you're in the drawing. Susie, enjoy Florida. Yeah, Trudy, it's a pre-order. And it'll be up tomorrow, and I'll send it in the newsletter. If you don't know if you're on the newsletter or not, go to angelawolf.com. And on the front page, it says, get in the know. That means sign up for the newsletter. Okay, any questions on the Shirley before I go? Show me the Shirley. Did you see it, Bonnie? Did you see it? Oh, thanks, Melody. All right, I see one. I thought I saw one question here. Oh, I did turn a little brighter, so we should be good. All right, let's get to, wow, I missed all these comments. Keep asking. All right, let me go. Victoria wants the leggings pattern. All right, good luck. What pattern do you recommend for a beginner if you're a quilter? Linda, I would recommend the ruche tee. The ruche tee is the easiest to sew, or the Delilah, which is more of like, kind of like a raglan sleeve. It's a dolman. to be accurate, but all right. I see all of your entries are going in. Let's go to the pressing board and get this in shape. And I'll make sure this is bright as well. Let me see if that's bright enough. Oh yeah, you can see. Hi. Okay. Here is the long strip that we're going to use for the binding. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the sewing machine first. Oh, sandpaper on my sweater knit. Not good. Because I need to baste together the shoulders. I forgot about that. And then I can press. So I'll take you to the sewing machine. I got you all set up. I just got to bring you over there. Oh, I just saw somebody ask, is this fabric still available? It is. It's on the app. It's still on sale. You can watch the live show again if you want. Peg, I got your email today. I laughed right out loud. The good news is I didn't do that on the website, but she was saying how it says watch the lives over again. Bad English, bad English. Okay. Here we go. So right sides together. This is my binding. I'm just going to sew this with a straight stitch for now. I could baste it too, but I'm going to sew because I can go back and take this. That's stitch length of 3.0. I'm going to run this through the serger. I just don't have the matching thread right now. So I wanted to get everything sewn and pressed today, and then I'll go work on that. But this fabric doesn't really fray. So if you decide you don't want to run it through the serger. Now the binding, this will all be enclosed. So all you have to do is sew that back area. And you can use a straight stitch because you're not going to be like stretching this out or anything. So there's my binding. Now let's do the shoulders. If you don't have clear elastic, when you go to permanently sew the shoulders, what you could use twill tape if you want to secure this seam. Use something very thin though. Now here's a tip for you. When you're sewing knits, and if you're totally new to sewing knits, I just saw somebody post something about the Essential Guide to Sewing Knits class. I do have that class on my academy. It's one of the first classes. It has a ton of lessons. But for those that don't need a full class, this is just one quick tip. For your base here, this fabric is very easy to get stuck. So I like to start sewing just a little bit in. I'll bring you a little closer here. Or you could change your plate to the single needle. But if you decide to go back and forth to a zigzag stitch because you're not using a serger, that's not a good idea. So just make sure you start in the edge just a little bit, and that will prevent that from getting stuck. So do a stitch, and then do a back stitch, and then go. Make sense? Okay. And let's go to this side. Start in just a little bit. And there we go. Now that straight stitch really kind of prevented this from stretching out. What would be the benefits or negatives of putting clear elastic in here? Well, it's a little bit bulky, not too bad, but what I will do is when I go to serge this seam, I will put the elastic right in the serge seam. So it'll get rid of the bulk of the seam allowance, and it will just keep this from stretching. The twill tape's a little thicker, so you just don't want to have too much bulk on your shoulder. And this is kind of a bulky sweater fabric, so just be careful of that. Now, this is not stretching too much. I probably am not even going to worry about it. If it was stretching more like this, then I would be worried about it. But that straight stitch kept this pretty tight. And this isn't going to pop out because it's your shoulder area. You're not usually stretching that. So we've sewn both shoulders and we've sewn the neckline. Let's go to the ironing board. I'm laughing. I'm on my way to the sewing machine and I'm looking outside. You can't even see my footprints anymore. There was already a foot of snow. It's blowing. So at the door, it was kind of like a foot and a half, kind of like just a pile of snow. My boots are about this high and snow got in them. Drives me crazy. But anyways, I can't even see my footprints anymore. So I think it's snowing more than an inch an hour. But let's keep going. All right, to the ironing board. I see Kay. Good idea to stay in your sewing room for 2 days. All right, so let's do pressing, and then I saw a few questions on the clear elastic, and I'll come back and answer that too. So you need an iron with some steam. Okay, and your Tailors clapper. Let's go. This is the front. You can see my little snip here. So this is one of the front pieces. I'm going to fold this back. The reason that I put that snip there is because this will then be sewn into the seam. Make sense now? And then this section is folded back as a hem. Give it a little steam. For those of you new to the Tailors clapper, you give it some steam, hold this down, and this makes it a beautiful, beautiful crease. All right, so while I'm still at the front piece, I'm going to go ahead and fold up the hem. Even though we haven't sewn it together yet, this just saves some time later on. I believe the hem for this one is about an inch. So I'm just going to eyeball this, turn it up an inch, and give it a pressing. If you are new to sewing and you're like, oh my gosh, how are you eyeballing that? Well, I've been doing this forever, but you could always use a little ruler to check. And I'm going to have to say my 1 inch is spot on. Must be a good day. I should buy a lottery ticket today. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. I have to get that sandpaper down. I've been distressing jeans lately. Getting that class done. Getting that class done. All right, so here's the back piece. Let's press up that hem. All right, and now this is the other front piece. So we'll start with the center front. Or, well, it's not the center front, it's actually the side, but the side that has the lap that goes in, the little panel. Fold it back, make sure it's nice and straight. Voila. And now let's look at the bottom hem. All right, there's the bottom hem. So we've got the side panel. This is the part that will be sewn into the outfit. This is the side that needs to be gathered. You can tell because it has the curve. So I'll run a basting stitch there so we can easily gather that. Now, we're not sewing the top together yet because you know what the next step is. Now, I'm going to sew my shoulders, so I'm going to leave these for now, okay? If you're not going to serge your shoulders and your fabric does not fray, you might want to press your seam allowance open. It's a little less bulk. Actually, I think I kind of like it like that. And it's not fraying. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to just press this open. It's my top, right? Now, if I was doing this for a customer, I would definitely serge it. But it's not fraying, so I'm just going to do it this way. I just saw somebody ask again, yes, there's more teal fabric. I just bought another bolt, so there might be like maybe 10 yards left on that bolt. There's teal. There's like a rusty orange. There's a beautiful burnt red. And there's that pale peach that I made the sweater out of a couple weeks ago. Those are the 4 colors. And I'm looking right now, and I think there's about a half a bolt of each one left. All right, so here's this. Now, what are we going to do for this whole neckline? So you have this whole section here. This is the front. That's the front neckline, and the back, and the front. So let's go back to the dress form, and I'll show you what this looks like before we start working on the binding. All right, so let's strip Shirley real quick. I'm just going to leave the tank top on for now. It doesn't matter. So this is what we have, a back and 2 fronts. So this is the side that does not gather, and this is the side that I cut a little bit lower. So if you're paying attention, remember when I said don't cut in here too far or you're going to have like a little bit of a peekaboo going on. So where I cut it lower was from here down. That will go underneath here. And if you have a dress form or you just want to try this on, try it on real quick just to see. Do I need to cut this a little bit lower? You do not want this to go right in the middle of your you know what. Okay. And then we're going to go to this side. This side will go over a little bit, and that's fine. That's how I designed it. If you are going for more of a lower cut, then you'll want to cut that down as well. I can see my notches right here on the side. This is where this matches up. This is where this is going to gather. All right, it's looking pretty good. Now, what I need to do is measure this new neckline because I cut it a little lower. Measure all the way around and all the way around to the front, because that's the next thing you're going to do. Now, by the way, I cut 2 long strips, right? I have plenty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prep this entire piece, but just to eyeball it, this seam is going to go in the center back. I'm going to wrap this around the front just to see how much I need. Oh gosh, I don't need all this. Scissors. Okay. Go all the way around. I'm giving myself extra. I'm still not going to need all this, but I don't need to waste my time pressing all this if I don't need all that. Now let's see this side here. Measure, measure, measure. Eyeball it. Give yourself a little extra in case you stretched the fabric or something. All right, so here's my new binding. This is how I get, this is what we're going to start with. Let's go back to the ironing board. Oh, thanks, Lois. It is. It's like somebody called it a water green or something like that. Green. Darlene. I shouldn't read questions as I'm walking away. Do I want to build a snowman? No. But if the boys were here, I would definitely have them doing the snowman. I agree. Hey, Valerie, I'll be doing that too. All right, any questions so far? Oh, I know, Kimberly. I love that iron too. By the way, Fashion Sewing Club, you have a discount to the Laura Star iron in the Fashion Sewing Club, just so you know. I am, Deb. I am using a shoe on that iron because then I can press on the knits and there's no problem. So an iron shoe, definitely, especially with knits. You don't want to mess up that polyester. All right, I think, Joyce, it's a Laura Star iron, Laura Star. And I do have a discount code for it. They're a little pricey, but I'll tell you what, they are absolutely the best iron I've ever had in my life. Ellen, you're hilarious. Oh, I agree, Melody. Thank you. All right. You all good? Let's go. You can see the snowing. Hey, Jackie, if you send me a private message, if anyone wants a link to that iron, I have a link to the iron. I can tell you which one I use and give you a discount code. Okay? Connie, it depends on what size you are, but I can look it up for you if you tell me kind of like what size. This is how you, if you want to get a general idea how much you need for the Shirley, measure from your neck, however long you want the hem to go. Multiply that times 2 because you have 2 fronts, and then measure your back down and then your sleeve. That's just a general. All right, let's go back here to the pressing. Oops, there we go. And this is the last step in prepping my binding. Now, why did I cut this wider? Well, look how much stretch this has. And what happens when you stretch it? It gets really, really narrow. Now, when I'm attaching binding, I actually do stretch it for this top. It prevents the front from kind of popping out. So by giving myself just a little bit of extra, cutting it 2.5 inches wide because it's a sweater knit, you'll see what happens. So fold this in half with wrong sides together. Leave a little. Now look what happens when I stretch. That got quite a bit more narrow, didn't it? Well, that's your little tip. If you took anything away today, when you're using a thicker, maybe a sweater knit fabric, and you're going to work on a binding or a neckline, make it just a little bit wider. So this was cut 2.5 inches wider. Pressing this in half. I'm stretching it just slightly as I press. I see somebody asking, is there a discount code? Yes, there is. Fashion Sewing Club always gets 25% off everything. It's in your Fashion Sewing Club site. It changes each month. I have a discount code even if you're not in the Fashion Sewing Club, and I will put it in the newsletter tomorrow, but I'll tell you what it is in just a second. I have to look it up. All right. There's always a discount, right? Never pay full price. Here you go. Now, the only other thing here is if I decide to keep this extra for the back, I'm going to trim that off a little bit. That's a lot of bulk in that center back. So I'm just going to snip diagonally at each corner. And now when I open it up to add it into the seam, guess what? I don't have all that extra bulk there. So now I can add this just like regular binding where I just pin this right to the collar now. Or you have 2 choices that way, or I can sew this to the collar and then wrap this around. So it's kind of like an enclosed binding. Whichever one you prefer. That will make quite a bit of bulk because you have to think right here, that's only 2 seams if I attach it. Now if I sew it, I'll have that folded in, and then I have this folded in. So you're looking at 4 layers. That's going to be quite thick for this. So I'm probably going to just opt for now attaching this to the neckline. And because our hour is up, we'll do this next time. So this will give you plenty of prepping until I see you. All right, so let me pop back over. I saw somebody asked again about fabric. How much fabric do you need for this? You know, I have to post this online. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why it's not online, but fabric requirements for the Shirley. If you are, I'm assuming your knit is going to be somewhere about 56 inches wide. I mean, that's what we're going to go with. From size 0 or extra, extra small to size 18 or extra large. That is, make sure I got the right one. Is this the long one or the short one? I guess I have to figure out which version we're doing. All right. Let me look real quick here. Version A is long sleeve. That's what I'm doing. and available in dress or top length. So let me just check here. There's quite a few. This is how many I'm running through. Version A is the dress. Version A, the top length, which is what we're making here, from size for the top, from size extra, extra small all the way up to extra, extra large, 2.25 yards. I usually end up buying 3 for it. I always just have a little extra in case I need it. If I want to add trim or something like that, sometimes I change the collar around. And then for size (16W to 36W), which is 0x to 5x, 3 2/3 yard. Got it? All right. So I guess we better draw a winner for this. So in the booklet, there's a lot of illustrations for you to follow along to sew. There's videos on my YouTube channel if you want to skip ahead, by the way, and sew this from It's So Easy. Hey, April. Oh, it does, Lorraine? That's cool. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the blowing. All right, guys, I'm going to draw a winner. Oh no, Kelly, I did not know that. All right, prayers for Sharon Moore. I had no idea. Betty, if you want to camouflage your tummy on this top, you can add a little bit more gathering, but this top kind of opens up anyways, so you'll be fine. Now, if you need to alter your pattern for a tummy or hips or anything like that, that's a whole different thing. I will, Charlene, I will. Oh, that's awesome. Your husband bought you 3 different clappers. Your husband is a cool guy, by the way. I do use them. Speedy recovery for Sharon. Yes, definitely, definitely. If you all don't know Sharon, she has been to my studio twice for in-person classes. She got the cutest dog. Now 2 of them. Her husband, they're just the nicest people ever. So, yeah, Michelle, you could use a piece of, use like a piece of muslin or something would be fine. If you forget to add the discount code, now on the app, I cannot go back and refund it to you. But on my regular website, just email me and I can go back and add your website. Okay, so let me give you your discount and let's do a drawing. And then I'm out of here. Go home and hunker down for another foot of snow. It's supposed to snow all the way till tomorrow at 7 p.m. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. All right, hold on just a second. Let me get this for you. I want to make sure it's right since we had a little fiasco on the other coupon code, but that wasn't my fault. I can't take credit for that. Yeah, Susan, are you getting snow yet? I'm just curious. Oh, Connie, did you email me? I swear I saw an email about that and I could not find it. So you should have gotten a pattern with your, you should have gotten a booklet with your pattern for sure, unless it was PDF. Now, if you think of it, will you email me again? Because I couldn't find your email. I can, number one, give you the PDF file so you can get started. And I will also stick a booklet in the mail to you. Yeah, thank you I'm so glad you were on here. Okay, coupon code for everyone. Fashion Sewing Club, go into the Fashion Sewing Club site. I know you guys are, I'm always telling you that, but just make sure. Here's your coupon code. Make sure it's right. It's all capital letters. And this will work on Angela Wolf pattern sites. So just go to Angela Wolf and go shopping. That's where you'll find this. But now on the app, if something's on sale, the coupon codes don't work. Okay, they're already on sale because that's already kind of like my get rid of stuff or very limited supply. So the code is capital letters SNOW 15. SNOW 15, and it'll be good for everything on Angela Wolf Patterns. And then I will make sure I add this to the app here shortly. So this is it. capital letters, Snow 15, and this will be good. I'll put it on the here for you. There we go. I just posted it on Facebook and Instagram. Angela, could you sew that seam at a diagonal to decrease the bulk? Sew the seam at a diagonal. Lorraine, do you mean kind of like what I did there? Just trim it? I don't know if I'd sew it at an angle. Oh, thanks, Joanna. Nice to see you, by the way. Great to see you all. All right. Any other last questions? And I will. Hey, Cindy, your feed keeps freezing. Well, we're going to be freezing here in just a minute. So to make a 3/4 length sleeve cut in the middle or hem, to make a 3/4 sleeve on the Shirley, to make a 3/4 sleeve, you would cut it above your hemline a little bit, like usually 3/4. I don't think I have that marked on the pattern. So you would have to actually just measure from your shoulder how long you want that and then add a hem, a 1-inch hem. Now, by the way, I saw somebody asking, so for the Fabric Stash site, it's a totally separate website. You have the app for it, Angela Wolf Patterns app. Look for it on your phone. It's on iOS and Android. And then there's also Angela Wolf Patterns. So if you go to angelawolf.com, 1F, that's where you'll find it. Here, I'll put that up here. You'll find all the shopping. But the thing is that the Angela Wolf Patterns is just a regular website. If you order from both places, all you have to do is leave a note. I ordered from both places. I'll see it in my shipping software anyways, and I will refund your shipping. So, I mean, even if you're buying something that's on one website that's not on another, just send me a note. I usually catch all those. All right. I think that's it. Hey, Michelle, did you see your purse today? In case you weren't here at the beginning. It has arrived. I will be sending it to you after I quit petting it for a while. Congrats, by the way. She was the big lucky winner. All right, so let's draw a winner, and I'll let you all go. Okay, so you got the discount code? I did, Cindy. I did at the beginning. Here is, and I'm showing it tomorrow in the Fashion Sewing Club. Tomorrow, Fashion Sewing Club, we are doing a boat neck. Remember? That's our new style. You all kind of voted on that. I think our live show is at 2. Here's one that Karina made, in case you missed that. And for all of you that came in late, this is my gift from Karina, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And by the way, if you're looking for this, it's in the Fashion Sewing Club. If you're not in the Fashion Sewing Club and you want it, you can email me. We have it in embroidery file, and now it's, this is from the Scan and Cut. So if you need those files, they were in Facebook, but Facebook took them out. So if you need them, let me know, and I will email them to you. I just need to know what embroidery file, what machine you have. That's it, Darlene. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Okay, let's draw, and I'll let you all go. Boy, there's a lot of people that make comments. Jackie, where's the fabric I was using on the show? It's on the app. So if you go into the app, Angela Wolf Patterns app, let me get out of my snow picture here. And this is the one that I just got to do bolt in, but the bolt's almost gone. So if you guys want it, you better get it quickly. I don't think I'm going to order any more of that. Have to move on to new things. All right, so the Angela Wolf Patterns app just looks like my logo. It looks like this. And if you want to watch the last live show, Shop Live Sales, you can watch the last one, which is right here. It says the date on it. It says there was like 810 people that watched it 26 days ago. You can watch it again, because if there's any fabric left, which I did reorder a few of those, you'll see that there. Okay, so here it is. If you scroll down, just scroll down the page. I have these two colors, rust orange, rhubarb soft. Where's the green? Teal. It doesn't, I know that on this it looks different. So that's it though. It's called teal. Teal sweater soft. Sweater soft knit. And then I have one more color in there somewhere, which is that real pale. Here it is. Pale rose soft sweater. Those are the 4 colors. So it's all the same texture of that, but different colors. And Jackie, if you message me, I can send you a link to that too. All right. Is the Linda available in a paper pattern? Yeah, Joanna, it's in paper and PDF. If it says it's out on the website, maybe I'm out of print, but no, I have Linda in stock. So I'll double check if it's not showing up that way. And so is the Shirley. All right, everyone, let's do the drawing. I'm going to share my page. Let's see who's going to be the lucky winner of the Shirley and the snips. And then tomorrow, watch your news box, your email box, and I will send out the newsletter that will have the official entry form to win these. And I will also give you a link so you can pre-order if you'd like. Okay. Here it is. There it is. Ready? Let's draw a winner. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Melody. Congratulations, Melody. You get the Shirley and some snips. And if you already have the Shirley, I can't remember if you have the Shirley or not. If you want something different, you can. I know you have almost all my patterns, so I don't know if you have the Shirley, though. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great day. I will be live tomorrow at noon on the Brothers Show. In case you're wondering, the schedule, we've got 4 fabulous educators. We're going to talk about embroidery, tips for making your embroidery a really good success. We've got for beginners to advanced. It's going to be a great 1-hour show. Tomorrow at 2, Fashion Sewing Club, we're going to be drafting a boat neck. Kind of a new trend coming up anyways, and I look forward to seeing you all then. All right, stay warm, and thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.